showtime. Enjoy the weekend with your family. And worship at the church of your choice this weekend. Now, only 1 minute till showtime. For your convenience, the refreshment stand will remain open during the show. Ladies and gentlemen, time for the show. Once again, thank you for coming to our theater tonight. Have an enjoyable evening. The refreshment stand will remain open for a short time. Still plenty of time to get a snack or cold drink. We'll make an announcement before the stand closes to give you plenty of time to get that last-minute treat.
Hey, welcome to the Hypnotic Sunday service. I am Evan Baumgardner, board certified hypnotist at Elliott Bay Hypnosis. For those of you new to the stream, so the other week I got to speak to a psychology class at a local high school, and that was really fun. And, all the talks I've given, whether it was to a completely empty room or a room full of other professional hypnotists, this was probably the most nervous I'd been in front of a crowd. But it was a ton of fun, and they had some really great questions for me, and they were so good I wanted to do a little different kind of thing today and ask a hypnotist and just kind of give some of my responses to the questions that they asked me. And one of them was if I've ever doubted if hypnosis was real. And when did I start believing in hypnosis? I mean, I knew hypnosis was real. There are studies out there, science that shows this is a real thing. But, I'll admit, until I actually needed it for my anxiety, I was skeptical of its utility. At least I thought, oh, okay, yeah, that'd be good for helping people stop smoking, sure, but I didn't know how well it would help with an issue like that, especially anxiety. Had I known, I would have done it long before I actually needed to. But why did I think that? Why did I think that hypnosis wouldn't be effective for an issue like anxiety or any of the other issues that we can tackle with it? And I think a large part of that is because hypnosis does get this sort of reputation of not being completely legitimate, like where, we're not wearing a white coat and just throwing pills at things, so it can't be real. But a lot of that comes from the really woo woo sort of aspects of hypnosis, and nothing against that. And it's funny because the longer I do this, the more kind of into I'm like, yeah, there's something to some of this. I think it gets misconstrued or misunderstood of what actually is happening in those woo woo aspects, but it will tend to rub people the wrong way, and that enhances skepticism. And I remember watching Penn and Teller. I love Penn and Teller, amazing magicians, hilarious. They had a show on Showtime way back, uh, late 90s, early 2000s, called Bullshit. And they would just talk about everything that they thought was bullshit. And one of those episodes was hypnosis. And yeah, it's something I want to go back and kind of do a video reaction to, like that particular episode, and see what they say and debate it point by point. But they had some really kind of out there people doing some quasi charlatan stuff at best. Like, oh, okay, you're losing your hair. Well, hypnosis can help with that. And that here's the thing. Now that I've been doing this, I think it might be able to. Yeah, I mean, if I was able to whistle again with hypnosis, then I mean, we have all this other stuff. Is it going to work the way it's expected and for everybody, or what are the variables in there that we have to adjust? I think in a majority of cases, no. If we go bald, we go bald. We need to do other things, not hypnosis, to stop that. But I mean, we know that hypnosis can promote healing after surgery, help our immune system. Well, this is by reducing stress. So why couldn't it, if we're using it and just the fact that it reduces stress could promote new hair growth again? I believe it's possible. How likely and how effective it would be, that's a different story. But it was this stuff and these kind of claims, and there are people out there that are saying, "Oh yeah, I can cure cancer with this." No, hypnosis cannot do that. Can it help? I believe that it can in some ways, but if you're looking at it as a medicinal cure for something, I don't believe in. And because of marketing, and the whole belief aspect to it, it gets pushed as that. And then when you see that, you become skeptical of the whole thing. Right. And then there is a number of people out there who will just say, oh, it's pseudoscience. Pseudoscience this, pseudoscience that. Look at my credentials. It's pseudoscience. That's not it. And that would get thrown around as a means of disqualifying hypnosis from the conversation that's being had. just out of hand, treating it as illegitimate. Like nowadays, we call things a conspiracy theory if we want to do that. And if you disagree with me, then you're a conspiracy theorist, and I want to hear. I'm kidding, but it's that same thing of disqualifying it, throwing that in there. A big thing, NLP gets that a lot. Oh, it's pseudoscience. Well, these are language patterns. It works, or how good somebody is at it. That's a different story. But these things happen. But to, most people, I think, when you hear pseudoscience, it's that pseudo part, it's not real. Or even like the placebo effect thing, which, placebo effect is real and it works. Well, then, if that's the case, what's wrong with it? But there's a lot of studies showing its effectiveness with so many different things and serious issues at that. So it is real, but that did affect my view of it until I experienced it for myself for an issue that, might not be very serious on the face of it, if you're just looking at it with, anxiety. Well, everybody has anxiety. Yeah, to me it was serious though, because it was so debilitating. And then I became a believer. But what happened in that was these years of hearing, it's not real. People are playing along, like with stage hypnosis. You can't bark like a dog. And there's that element of they're volunteering to go up on stage and they're consenting to participate in this and do this. They're open to it. It's not like you're going up to somebody on the street, grabbing their arm out of the blue, going, sleep, cluck like a chicken. They're going to look at you like, what the hell? And they're going to smack you in the face. And they're definitely not going to cluck like a chicken. They're definitely not going to go into trance. So, yeah, but that was what people would say about him. They're just kind of playing along. And to a degree, there is that playing along, but it is also real. And that's what people don't understand. And then you get into, on the therapeutic side, the pseudoscience arguments that skeptics and people with interest in, not letting people know just how awesome hypnosis is would throw around, because they have their credentials, their careers kind of rely upon it. It goes against what they believe. Therefore, they perceive it as an immediate threat to their safety, because it can be a challenge to an entire belief system of a doctor. That, we don't need these dubious pills of questionable effect when we can do hypnosis and get the same results safely and naturally and without harmful side effects. So over time, when you hear that again and again and again, hypnosis is pseudoscience, and then pseudoscience equals bullshit. Those are the two things together. Pseudoscience has that meaning. This isn't real. Hypnosis is pseudoscience. Hypnosis is bullshit. Boom. And that becomes a suggestion that gets installed into the brain, because the two things that install suggestions better than anything else is repetition and emotion. So just repetition alone, a lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth. So that comes into it. There's also, because past life regressions are so popular with hypnosis, and it's not my thing, right? I've got nothing against it, though. I think it is a valid method of hypnotherapy. I think it can work for just as well as other techniques in the hands of a skilled hypnotist. And I think the people that seek that out, it's the best method for them to get the changes that they want, that they're looking to make. Is it necessary? I don't think so, but it doesn't matter. What matters is the client. What matters is the person doing it. So if their belief is they need to see what happened in a past life, and it doesn't matter if it's real or not, because the subconscious doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imaginary. So even if it is completely made up, but if it gets them the changes that they want, it's worked. It's done its job, and it's done it in a way that they will accept. And not only accept, but openly accept, and then go forward with the positive changes in place. So I'm all for it if that's your thing. I'm not the hypnotist to do those for you, but so nothing against that stuff, because like I said, the more I do this, the more I learn. I think that there is something to some of the woo-woo stuff with it, which is something I never ever thought I would say, as far as like, okay, energy flowing through us. Some of it is metaphor, but some of it is true. So that's my answer to that question. Is yeah, I was skeptical of it until I tried it. And even since after I tried it, after I was a believer, after I became a hypnotist, I was still skeptical of some of the things that could actually be accomplished with it. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but the more experience I get, the longer I keep doing this, the more I see, the more I learn, the more I do things that I didn't think was possible with hypnosis. Be that for myself with my Bell's palsy and my synkinesis, or with other clients, and seeing them get results. It blows me away how much we can do. And I know I'm still just scratching the surface with it. We all probably are. So um, that is, yeah, if I've ever doubted if hypnosis was real. Now, here's another fun one. Let me give you a bonus for today's Sunday service, and we'll go a little long. I love this, and do you ever feel like a con man? And I wonder how skeptical the student was of hypnosis. But no, I never feel like a con man, because I'm not scamming anybody. I'm not being dishonest. I'm not manipulating anyone to do anything against their will. Hypnosis is real. And I wonder if, like, okay, asking a doctor if they ever feel like a con man when they give people a bunch of pills that aren't necessary, for and that are mostly prescribed for something that they don't have. I would say that's more dishonest, more of a con than hypnosis. That doesn't mean medicine is fake either. But there are times where the closest I've come to feeling like that is because with some techniques I do, and in order to get an effective result, in order to eliminate any sort of bias from things, I can't tell the client exactly what I'm doing or why I'm doing it or how it works. And I especially can't let them know what kind of reaction I'm looking for. I need to keep them guessing. And especially if you're helping somebody with anxiety or like overcoming like whatever emotional struggles from like narcissistic abuse and things where they have this people pleasing behavior. And as a hypnotist, and you're working with them, they're your client, and you're in this like kind of position of authority over them. And in some way, that's good because it opens them up to the suggestions, to doing the work. But it also might make them want to say what they think that you want to hear. And I don't want that. I want the honest answer. I want to know exactly what the experience is. So I have to keep them guessing in a way of doing what I'm of not letting them know exactly what I'm doing. So there is a bit of a sleight of hand. Hey, Christina, thanks for checking in, watching today. But yeah, and it's also, I want to check the work. So I need an honest answer to make sure that the suggestions are happening, that everything's going kind of as expected. And I don't want them to tell me what they believe they are supposed to say. I want to be honest. And the other thing is with this hypnosis, it's not magic, and changes can happen so fast that it can feel like it's magic. And when we do it, it's because this stuff, we could be struggling with an issue for years. And then in just like one or two sessions of hypnosis, it's gone. And we feel so much lighter and so much better. And life becomes completely different. We're looking at everything through a different lens. It's like a lot cleaner lens at best. And that's an amazing, amazing feeling. And because we can do it by doing an induction where I'm going, ooh, being cheesy, but we're still doing serious work. But it's all about engaging the imagination and therefore the focus on the emotion. And if we create a sense of fun, of wonder with our clients when we make these changes, and doing that, it will actually help reinforce the suggestions that they're giving. It will make it more effective because it'll put in there that, wow, something amazing really happened. That's crazy. And remember, the two things that impress upon the subconscious more than anything else are repetition and emotion. And a positive emotion is a great thing. So there's a sense of fun and wonder and of wow, the wow factor of how did this happen? That's amazing. What's going on? And boom, that change happened. It's in there. And now it's going deeper because this was such a positive experience. So we're actually using that kind of ability of them not knowing exactly how what just happened occurred as a way to reinforce the changes that happened. And that makes it easier for them to then move into the unknown and start taking the actions to live life the way that they want with these new changes in place that otherwise would have been impossible to do without hypnosis, because the subconscious would be like, whoa, no, the unknown is the scary thing. And but then if we bring this in with fun and wonder, suddenly it's not scary anymore to the subconscious. It's fun, it's playful, and now it's easier to go forward with the new habits, the new patterns, the new changes, the new way that they want to be. So I want you to think of it this way. A magician will have, a fake thumb, and they'll stuff a scarf into it, right? And they come out on stage. And if they say, all right, I'm going to take a fake scarf out, I'm going to make it look like it's coming out my hand, but really I'm pulling it out of this fake thumb. Okay? And then they do that. You're not going to be amazed by the trick. You're going to be looking at the thumb. You're going to be staring at that and trying to see exactly what's happening, noticing that. The same way, if I tell you, don't think of a pink elephant, you start thinking of a pink elephant. If I tell you, don't notice your breathing, don't notice how relaxed your breathing has become as you're watching this, your attention is going to go to that. And you're going to go, wow, I'm really relaxed watching this live stream. So when there's something that we've been carrying around for years and years, and like I said, the subconscious, the thing that scares it the most is change, even if that's a destructive pattern. Like the unknown is scarier to it. It sees that as more of a threat than the current pattern, even if that's a destructive one, because there's still like a perceived benefit to it. So, and it will pull off every trick in the book in order to prevent the change that you want consciously to make from occurring. Because our subconscious knows us better than we consciously know ourselves. It knows every weakness, every pressure point, every place to push on us to get what it wants. And if suddenly it knows, oh, this thing is trying to make us change, I'm perceiving that change and the unknown that comes with it as a threat, it's going to have all the defenses up. It's going to become the most resistant to it. So, and if there's a conflict there, the emotional mind is going to win 100% of the time over the logical mind. So I don't want to draw its attention to the fact that there's a fake thumb tip, that the scarf is coming out of. Because if I do, it's gonna focus on that, and it's not gonna know things. It's not. Is that deceptive? I don't think so. Because it's the hardest part for me is because I think it's so cool how our mind works, but I know I can't say that. I can't go, hey, and guess how this works? You're not gonna believe this. I kind of set things up before that where I'm saying how the mind works, in my period, the model of the mind I use, and how the subconscious is afraid of the unknown and it wants to protect us. And it needs to be on board with the change. And so I'm saying exactly what we're doing, but I'm not revealing like the intricacies of the technique or anything. So, but that's why I like to teach hypnosis now and talk to other hypnotists so we can actually geek out on those technical details of things and everything behind it. But the important thing is getting the client's changes. So no, I don't feel like a con man. Um, maybe more like a magician at times. Now, going through all of that, which I never thought about before. But there we go. So that is the Sunday service for today. Thanks everyone for watching, and until next.